it's Katie at Wild Prairie Farm. Welcome back to my channel. We are just gonna do a quick early spring. Hold on a second. Okay. Toys have been acquired. We have a little toy pit in the greenhouse so the babies can be out here with me. Even though they just play in the dirt, but still, they have cars if they want them, you know, to roll around in the dirt. Anyway, I want to give you guys an early spring tour here on the farm so you can just kind of see what we have going, what we have growing, and just the excitement and the possibility and hope that spring brings. So let's go. First, we're going to start in the greenhouse. Our bare root strawberries, nothing is happening. And neither with the phlox, but the eryngium, the blue thistle, is going fantastic. I have done, I don't know, the lazy way, I'm a mom of 5 way. I just sowed these marigolds yesterday. Just put the soil in the tray, sprinkle soil on top, and I will divide the plants. I did that with the marigolds. And then over here with the snaps, as you can see, the rest of the Potomac snaps. And then there's some rudbeckia, and I believe bachelor buttons in here. And then I also planted direct said bachelor buttons out in the garden. But here's our bee balm we need to get planted. Thyme, mountain mint. 2 of our Potomac snap trays. I planted more out there, which I'll show you. And then the nasturtiums. Oh, and the sunflowers. I did start sunflowers yesterday. Oh, what are you doing? Get back in there. Cleaned up the little greenhouse garden. We've got sedum, salvia, chives. We've got a few peonies in here. Our sweet lilac. Look at you. Oh my gosh. So sweet. This is the space that we are putting the raspberries in. This is a new space and we're just letting the grass die, and we'll be tilling it up and then getting compost for it soon. Our blackberries are growing in really nicely. I just recently gave them kind of a hard prune. I don't know if it was the right time to prune, but they needed it, so that's what I did. We have one here. We have a couple of smaller ones. Now, I didn't know this about blackberries, but like these vines kind of that I cut, the part that was touching the ground rooted in the ground. And so that's pretty much where that one came from and where that one came from and that one. So we're just gonna let those grow and see what happens. The random tulips in the blackberry patch is, and over there and there is where the tulips were grown last year, and these obviously the bulbs didn't make it out or something happened, but I might pick you and bring you inside to enjoy. Here's just our sweet spring dafts to enjoy. Don't cut off these. I just enjoy them. This is also the bed that all the mint is growing in. If you know, you contain your mint. And I like to use it as a greenery and bouquets, so I'm a mint fan. Hello, Drakey. Here is the tulip graveyard, the chicken dust bath. Okay, the last of the tulips to come along are our fringy tulips and some of our doubles. These poor tulips, this is where the chickens started their dust bath. They're such punks. This is their fencing, like, and we move it around, but it's just too enticing over here. It's just too enticing, I guess. Anyway, we've got, yeah, the rest of these tulips, and I'll show you the other tulip beds. Under the tulip carnage, I've got yarrow. I actually moved all of this yarrow and divided it from the front garden bed last year. And so I've got yarrow here and all in that bed as well. These 4 beds by the greenhouse and in front of the chicken coop, let me get better lighting so it's not backlit like that. They struggle to get enough water. So I don't have the funds to have drip irrigation, so I have to hand water, and then I have an overhead sprinkler, and the sprinkler reaches kind of to the edge of this bed, but it doesn't reach the whole thing, and it definitely doesn't reach those over there. So what I'm trying to do is put in more native perennials that are drought tolerant and have those deep tap roots, so they don't need as much water. So if they miss a watering or they don't get as much as the others, they're gonna be okay. Here we've got some lavender, and here's some of our spring annuals, our larkspur, love and a mist. Got a few broccoli over here. Here's where I planted some of our Potomac snaps. You know, it's funny, these random 2 foxglove. This was all foxglove. These were the only 2 that survived the winter from last year's planting. So I'm hoping to get something from them this year, but we'll see. So I put, yeah, there's 2 varieties. This is the Monaco orange and the Potomac pink that are in this bed. And these 2 beds right here are full of ranunculus. They appear to be doing well. I mean, I still feel like they're kind of small. I've fertilized them a handful of times, you know, and I'm constantly, you know, every 7 to 10 days. I'm hoping, you know, I'm really hoping, I'm banking on you girls. So grow pretty, grow beautifully, please. Here's one of our other tulip beds. Now the reason I chose this for the tulip beds is because of the trees, because they get a little bit of afternoon shade, which I feel like helps. And look who's blowing open that I need to harvest immediately. Last week, opening weekend at the farm stand, we had, honestly, weather we don't like, but weather the spring bulbs loved. It was like 50 degrees, cloudy, rainy, and it was just perfect. They could just keep growing, keep getting taller and more beautiful, and they were staying closed. And now this week, you know, it's been like 60, 70 degrees, so here we go, we're done. So that's pretty much what's going on. I'm like racing against time in the sun to get all the tulips out of the ground before they crack open. And yeah, these were not like this earlier today. Like honestly, just like a few hours ago, these were not ready, and now they're ready. They were like this, and now they're like this. That was just a few hours ago. They certainly are lovely though, and I'm very excited. These will most likely be our Easter tulips. I have this week's tulips, so I'm gonna save the best ones for Easter next week. In this bed here and that one, we've got just all the whites, which I love for Easter. Look at these little double fringies. Can't wait for those to open. Probably could pull you too. We've got our onions around here, and the volunteer sunflowers that are coming up everywhere. I'm a sucker for a volunteer. I probably won't pull you, I'll just let you grow. I can't help it. So yes, onions all through here. I actually had elderberries in this bed, and if you watch one of my other winter cleanup spring videos, I move the elderberries out of here into a different space just because I have a space in here and it was a holding space, and I got them in the fall and I was like, just get them in the ground. But they needed to be moved. They didn't like it here. But apparently they did, because I have little 1, 2, and one more little volunteer elderberry coming up in this bed, which I'm really excited about because I planted 3 elderberries up front and 2 look great. One of them, something came and dug it up, and it was like 5 feet from where it was planted. So that one didn't make it, but the other 2 did. But I'm excited to have more elderberry. Here in this bed, more onions, broccoli. We've got our feverfew. Guys, I'm so sad. Like, I don't know if they're just slow to grow, but my bells of Ireland, I loved them. And they just, I don't know, they're having a bit of a hard time. Okay, I do have all of these little, I think this is feverfew. Is this you? It's like so hard. Look at those fluffy leaves. This fluffy little foliage. I don't know. Maybe a little volunteer feverfew, something. But they're everywhere. So, oh, here's some more little fluffers. We're gonna let you grow. Yeah, that's feverfew. Or is it Bill's? I want it to be you. We'll find out. And on this arch, I also have a rose that's growing here. Don't ask me what, it was a Home Depot rose, and she's doing rather well. And then I just planted sweet peas around it just because, I don't know. See how they do together. Last year, these beds were the dahlia beds, and we planted more of the tulips in here. There's a rose here. It's called, I think, like honey apricot. It's an edible rose. I'll put a picture up of the tag so you can see. There's another rose there, and then I just got all of my David Austins in. So we planted one here, two on the end over there, and then these two pots are just holding places until we get two small wooden boxes, raised beds built on either side of the swing so it can grow up the swing. Guys, say a prayer for Sammy. His poor tummy. He's got a little stomach bug. Also got onions at the end of this bed and onions all through here. I don't know what I'm gonna put in the middle. Maybe peppers, maybe tomatoes. I don't know. Rose, can you just grow with anybody? I hope so. The beautiful Enjoy tulips. These are so lovely. If you can believe it, which I'm sure you can by looking at them, these two garden beds were the only thing in this yard. If I have a picture, I will put it up there on the screen so you can see the before. But this was it. And in here, I had strawberries, planted asparagus. We're letting this one go to seed. So it's too thin. So we're gonna let it go to seed and get stronger. Same with that one over there. But this is where I planted the bachelor buttons. This kind of garden space has been a catch-all, if you will. I should have picked you a long time ago. Oh dear, and you. Well, I guess I'll do it now. Let's see. Oh, you don't want to do it. There we go. Boop. I actually really love asparagus, just fresh out of the garden. I'm a vegetable person though. I like vegetables. So this to me is a lovely garden snack. Got some Rogue chamomile, peonies. Now the peonies, I didn't actually buy any of these. The peonies were here on the property. There was like 5 bushes and I divided them and planted them. That's why they kind of got shoved wherever. They didn't like where they were. They didn't get enough sun, and excuse me while I eat my asparagus. So yeah, the peonies didn't like where they were. They weren't getting enough sun. So I kind of moved them all over. You got some here by the greenhouse. There's some in the garden beds right over there as I point with the asparagus. So this was also the herb bed. Although I need to replace the thyme. That poor sage. I might have to prune it back some more, but it is old. It was one of the first things I planted in here, and it did amazing. Plant sage. And then all you need is one oregano. Look at this. Look at this carpet of beautiful oregano. Just wow. Okay, so here, the original 4 in-ground beds that we put in along with the raised beds. This is where the first year I grew cut flowers. I put the daffodils in the spaces between is where the tulips were. And I didn't know this until later, but with tulips, you cannot plant them in the same spot for 7 more years to avoid disease. So now I've had to rotate where I plant the tulips So now here I've just been adding different perennials, or we just plant our summer annuals in between, or vegetables like tomatoes, because last year all through here was tomatoes and peppers. And then on the border I was trying to build just like a perennial bed. So we've got salvia, and let me just tell you, this salvia is reseeding itself. There we got over there. It's just awesome. Okay, look at these staffs, so pretty. Just the beginning of all the lovely. Here are our chickies. We upgraded to the stock tank. They needed it, and this is what they like to do. Just perch. Pretty little perchers. Hi, honey.